M. The Legacy. Written by Tim Simpson. Narrated by Adriana Pedersen. Copyright Tim Simpson. Some characters are mine and mine alone. However, others that I mention or use are in the public domain. Introduction from the author. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the world of M. M is a series of books I did many years ago. The idea was to take all of my favorite literary people I read about as a child and add them to one story. All of the ones I used were, of course, in the public domain. I built the story around Elizabeth Bathory's own story of trying to hold on to her youthful appearance. She wanted to use supernatural means, and when that failed, she tried science. This resulted in a mixture of Dracula and his vampires, the Frankenstein monster, a mummy, and his army of zombies, werewolves, Moriarty, the Phantom of the Opera, and the Invisible Man to make for some interesting villains. But I needed some equally interesting heroes, so I gathered myself some of the best, like Sherlock Holmes, my all-time favorite, Zorro, Van Helsing, Tom Sawyer, Professor Challenger, and Jekyll, and of course, Mr. Hyde. I mixed it all up and sprinkled it with a little Headless Horseman, Arsène Lupin, Alan Quatermain, and the Island of Dr. Moreau, just to name a very select few. I ended the series years later with the Lady Z, or so I thought. The ideas of a second series flooded my imagination and mind. I missed the vampires, the action, the mystery. I missed my old friends. Out of that came this new series, taking place years after the events in the first book, and only a few years after the last. I have a new threat to the world, and new heroes. However, I cannot resist throwing in some closure on past books, a little deeper understanding of why, and of course, bringing back a few from the dead and giving them another chance to shine. The series, like the others, deals with science, supernatural, and regular men and women doing deeds that are greater than themselves. I truly hope you have as much fun listening to or reading the new series as much as I have writing it. Tim Simpson, written the last day of 2020. Dedicated to Peter, Bois, Christopher, Bella, Vincent, Lon, Carradine, Hitchcock, Perkins, and Laurie. If you know who these people are, then you are a true horror fan. December 1948. A castle sitting high above a small Hungarian town. The castle had been deserted for years. It is old, worn down, and yet the fear can still be felt throughout the surrounding villages. The castles hold many secrets, lots of history, and a legacy of monsters. In fact, this very castle once held the body of Elizabeth Bathory, Count Dracula, and for a short time, a living mummy king. But now, the glory of the old building has faded. The long dead corpses have all been rotted away, along with most of the building. So why does he stand here? He looks up at the fallen walls, the dilapidated roof, the unkempt grounds, and the heavy darkness that seems to encompass it all. As if the old haunted building is not enough, he stands in the freezing temperature as the snow falls in large festive flakes, the wind blowing his long silken cape behind him, his top hat catching the snow, his perfectly tailored tuxedo barely providing enough warmth to keep him from shivering. He grins. So why is he here? He plants his walking stick into the frozen ground. He turns his head to face his Indian manservant. "Well, my friend, we have found it at long last." The large man from India folded his arms to fight the chill. "But why?" "Because we need to lay it all to rest. Dracula, Frankenstein, all of it, we need to lay it all to rest." He moves closer to the steps that lead up to the opening. He can still hear the screams as zombies tear through the lands. He can hear the ghost of Moriarty as he releases the mummy from the basement. He can see Dracula commanding his vampires from the balcony that now lays beside the door. Suddenly, there is movement. This time, not imagined. He pauses. It is the ground, and it feels as though it is moving. His first thought is the horseman. He once rode across this land. But no, it is something else. The horseman is long dead. Then, without warning, the surface gives way and the ground caves inward. Morndrig, the magician, feels his legs fall, and then his body as if the ground swallows him. "Drake!" shouts his manservant and friend as he reaches out a hand. He is too late. He is then forced to watch his boss fall into the dark pit that seems to go on forever. He lifts his head. He feels around for his cane. He pushes himself into a sitting position. The world is spinning. The darkness consumes him. "Mr. Morndrake, are you all right?" The voice echoes down. He looks upward to give a response. However, before he utters a word, the opening from which he fell closes, shutting out the only grasps of light there is. He feels the pit of his stomach turn. He searches for his cane faster. He grasps it, and in one motion he thumbs the end that holds a crystal, and with the use of mechanics concealed inside the cane for his stage show, it illuminates. He stands. He shines his light all around, but there is only darkness there, and nothing more. He shines the light to the ground to light his path. He sees the trails that is most likely from long-dead natives. He begins walking. "Hello!" he calls out, realizing that it is in vain. Then he sees a glimmer of light. He moves forward. "Is anyone there?" Again, he receives no response. His patent leather shoes fall onto a cobblestone surface. A candle is lit in the corner, resting on a piece of stone that juts out from the cave wall. There is no door, no entrance nor exit. A circular room surrounds him. He shines his light upwards. The dirt above him seeps liquid from the water above. "Welcome," a voice calls out, shattering the silence and cutting through the darkness. "Who are—" Morndrake says once he pulls his nerves back into place. "Much evil has begotten here." "Yes, I know," says Morndrake wearily. "Then you know with whom you speak?" "No, not exactly." "I am the one created by chaos. I am the one that speaks on behalf of the doomed." "Well, honestly, that tells me nothing." "I watched as Bathory destroyed the lands. She will do it again. I watched as Dracula consumed the innocent. Beware of his creator. I watched as the mummy called forth the dead, and I watched the witch sought out her revenge, and it is not finished." "You witnessed all of that? And what about not finished?" "Even though the vampires fled, the wolves were destroyed, the monsters banished, it is not complete. The circle of the monster is only the beginning." "I don't understand. Sarah, she is doing her work, but in the end she will meet her death along with all that aid her." "You can see the future?" "I can see everything." "Then why bring me here?" "You come of your own choosing." "Not down here. Not to this place." "No, but you wanted something from here. No?" "Yes. I wanted to burn the castle down, to get rid of the remnants of all that happened here."
"Why?"
"To put an end to all of it."
"The castle is but brick and mortar. More needs to be done to end it."
"More? Like what?"
"I will show of things to come. I will teach you to harness real power."
"Real power? Why?"
"Because the creatures that are coming will consume the world."
"You said Sarah will die. And what of Zorro? He aids her."
"He will also meet his fate at the hands of the vampires. Everyone will, including Sarah. She will have a daughter. and her daughter's daughter will carry on the quest. I have seen all. They will win many battles, but ultimately lose the war.
Then why do you need me, if the war will be lost?
You will be consumed, all of your power will be given over, and you will nearly give up. But your greatest power will happen from within the witch.
You are speaking of future events?
Yes.
I will be an old man by that time.
No, I will keep you here to train your mind and your body and prepare you for that day.
Is this what you saw in my future?
No. What I saw was your future before now. It was different. I need to change it, because if I do not, all the world will be lost to her.
The voice pauses as if reflecting.
In your first future, I saw you traveling as a stage magician, performing tricks, writing books, and speaking to crowds. You become very wealthy. Even when the vampires come, you will survive. But you have no purpose. Now, I give you purpose. But it is the time after. The world will not know you as Mordrake the magician. You will have faded from history, only to return to fulfill your true destiny.
I don't understand. You have seen all of that?
Yes.
So did you see me coming here?
Yes.
And then?
You burned this place down. But it served no purpose. So I decided to change things to make your action have purpose.
What of my stage show? And my servants? And, well, someone will know that I am missing.
Yes, they will. And time will move along. And you will grow. And when the time is right, I will release you. As the saying goes, when the student is ready, the master will appear.
So you mean to keep me as a prisoner?
Call it what you will. But this is necessary to save the planet.
Morndrake looks once again to the ground. Then he looks up. All right. If what all you say is true, what do I need to learn?
I will show you.
Book 1, De la Noche, Chapter 1, Oxford University, 1982.
What you reading?
He says as he plops down in a chair opposite the young woman's bare feet. She has them propped up on the table in front of him. Her attention is firmly in the novel in which she reads. Ignored, the young man takes a finger and runs it down the instep of her foot. She wiggles it and chuckles.
Stop it! You know I hate to be tickled.
He grins. Then you should not have him so close to me.
They weren't. You got close to them.
Hey! Says the sister of the young man as she too grabs a seat.
Hiya, sis.
The young man relaxes and leans back in his chair.
She is reading again, as usual.
Oh, come on, Rona. You know there's more to life than books,
says the sister. Rona swings her legs around and places her feet onto the floor. She closes the book and places it in front of her.
Yeah, a boring life it is.
Oh, come on. Let's go get into some mischief tonight.
Mischief? Really, Jake, what century are you from?
Hey, sis, it's just the way I talk.
Okay, Jake. Mary, calm down. I don't want a wrestling match right here. Maybe we can do something. I do have a paper to write, but after that, well, sure, we can go someplace and have some fun.
Hey, look over there. It's Elvira,
Jake says, pointing his pinky finger. The girl in question strolls through the doors. She is clad in all black, a knee-high dress, boots that travel near her thigh, black lipstick, and liner that encircles her eyes. The long black curly hair completes the ensemble.
Has she ever been outside? Look at how pale her skin is,
observes Mary.
Hey, come on. Everyone has a right to be who they want, Rona adds.
So what are we doing tonight? Interjects Jake.
I heard there's a new club open at the East End. Let's check it out.
All right, Mary. Good thinking.
I don't know. Maybe I'll meet you guys there once my paper is finished.
All right then, it's settled. We will all meet there tonight, say around 9?
All right, sure, Jake,
says Rona as she reopens her book.
Now let me finish this chapter.
At the opposite table, a woman in black listens. She makes a scribble onto a notepad. Her eyes move over to where the three sit. A slight grin creases the corner of her mouth.